A very good morning to you. Now, you are adamant that Eskom is lying, and I think many South Africans will agree with you at this point as they wake up this morning to just the latest updates. Just what is it that you believe they're lying about, and how bad do you think the problem actually really is?
Okay, so I mean, my big problem is that Eskom has been lying to us as to where the source of the problem was. They've told us consistently that the problem was with the old generating fleet, and it's now transpired at the NERSA hearings that indeed the problem isn't only limited to the old generation fleet, but it's also extended to the new build. I mean, Medupi can't get above 60% availability, and Kusile is hovering around 20%, which is criminal. So I'm shocked that under the new board, Eskom has chosen to hide these facts from us, and it only came out at the NERSA hearings. And my big problem is that if that's the level of ethics that we are experiencing from the organization, I don't know how you build confidence in the economy when the very people at the leadership of your renewed board, with renewed governance expectations, don't actually take you into their confidence and share with you the real facts of the situation.
I mean, we heard from Kulupasiwe saying that these are backlogs, things that they actually needed to catch up with, but I don't know that that's a very difficult bitter pill to swallow, because the question you'd have to ask is, how did you not see this coming? How did it all just dawn on you, whether it was Saturday night or Sunday morning, and you only have an emergency meeting with the powers that be last night? Surely something of this proportion didn't just happen overnight.
Well, in reality, if you run a big organization, hopefully you're running it on a dashboard system so that you can see whether you're in the red or in the green or in the yellow or where you are. This is self-inflicted. The increased risk is self-inflicted, and let me explain to you why. It's because Eskom at the NERSA hearings revealed that they've taken 12 units offline and put them into cold storage because they don't have the funds to actually refurbish them and do what's necessary in terms of the maintenance. Now, if you follow the line, and this is going to cause a lot of problems for me, but nevertheless, if you follow the line, the new board has cut the maintenance budget last year in an attempt to sort of quell the financial problems at Eskom. Now, if you run an engineering business, and that's why you need engineers to run this organization, you will realize that the moment you do something like that, you exacerbate the risk that you're putting the whole country to. So I think from a management point of view, this board has failed us, and I'm sorry to have to say that.
And you have to ask, Ted, I mean, if we're saying that something like 7 units just sort of stopped working, and as the president called them, broken eggs, and we're saying we don't believe Eskom, who do we send? Should we be sending somebody to these units to actually go and check that what they say is wrong is actually wrong? To your knowledge, has anybody independently actually gone out to check to those units to see what exactly is going on?
Okay, so as far as I'm aware, nobody independent has been procured by Eskom to go and do that. And even if Eskom does procure somebody like that, you wouldn't know whether that person's independent or not, unless they have a track record of independence. But Eskom has apparently been doing an audit, and that's what they were busy with yesterday, to inform the board as to what's going on. But I mean, I've got major problems with this board because they were appointed as novices. We spent a year waiting for them to learn the ropes of the organization. And I think that's what's caused the calamity, is that you've had failure upon failure upon failure. This is about the 5th or the 6th failure we've had in 12 months, in terms of governance, in terms of board, in terms of preparedness, in terms of executives. You can't run a country like that. I'm afraid you can't. If you want to run a country which has heavy industrial demands, you've got to have industrial grade management. You can't have people that are still learning on the job. I mean, it's just not the way to do things, I don't think, with respect.
And Ted, I mean, I'm sure you're aware that one of the conspiracy theories since Sunday has been, isn't this such a coincidence that this actually comes just a few days after the president makes that announcement at SONA about the sort of unbundling of Eskom and the chopping it up. And sabotage is the word also that's being bandied about. Your thoughts on that?
Well, I think these conspiracy sort of theories and speculation arise because of two things. Firstly, poor communication that gives rise to speculation. And secondly, distrust. People are not. People have lost confidence in what we're being told and in our national leadership, because what's happened now over the last year is that the president has actually made this problem his problem. He's appointed a new board. He's done the hands-on tillering of the boat, and together with the minister. Now, I think one needs to just be a bit cautious, because in the presidential speech of last Thursday, he has indicated that they expect commentators like myself and others to take our hands off Eskom and give them a chance. But it's of national interest, and they've had a chance. They've had a year, that they have had hands on the control of Eskom. One would have thought that they would have put the right resources in and got the thing going. I mean, it's easy to stand on the side and comment, and I understand that the poor guys at the workplace must be having one hell of a time. But really, they've, with respect, they failed us.
Yeah, and I think South Africans have put up with a lot and given enough to try and save, and you have to wonder why aren't we seeing any kind of improvement. Well, thank you very much. That's analyst there, Ted Blom, just giving us, he's a mining and energy advisor, and just giving us his thoughts on what we're seeing happening at Eskom at the moment. Well,